Okay, now I'm going to talk about Nandor Honti. Nandor Honti was an illustrator in the 20s and 30s. He did a lot of fashion illustrations, and to my knowledge, only one set of boudoir furniture that I was able to locate. And getting these things in color was really super difficult. And the designs pulled me in, but then I wanted to make some changes to them. So these are, by and large, Nandor Honti's designs, but I have taken quite a bit of liberty with them. And like this piece, which is which is a nightstand, I did completely scratch, from scratch. Again, all the illustrations are mine. If you can see here, those are photographs of clouds and skies. I took all of the photographs as well, because I couldn't quite make up my mind about what I wanted for them. The backgrounds. So you can see here all of the designs. I think the only thing I downloaded, I paid for it. It's like a gold, like metallic pattern. I downloaded from a site. I think I got it for like $1.99 or something. But I wanted something gold and metallic and shiny to go in these little snail shells. So again, these could be designed or put together without making the movable shelves. So that's the nightstand. This is the bed. And I've created the illustrations to go on the end. I did change around his bed a bit. But what I loved is this very Art Deco kind of approach to the line work on the outside. I really liked. And then I did a wood inlay with the wood patterns. And again, I take my own photographs. This quilt, this was another one that I paid for somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. And then some fabric that I took a photograph of. So this one's kind of in process. You can see underneath here, you can see what I was talking about in the previous video about using dollar store stuff. This right here is dollar store foam core. I like it working with the furniture because it's lighter weight and it's easier to manipulate. So I used quite a bit of it for some of these. And it adds some structural oomph. I'm also a person, if you've seen my previous videos about the living room furniture, I also add dowels and other things in here to make sure that things don't stick or don't break. I did designs on both of these because maybe you like this design better than this design, so you can just flip it. So that's the bed and the nightstand. There's a little, I changed this around because it said it was a bookshelf and it had illustrations in it, like illustrations of books. And I didn't like the illustrations of books, so I just kind of turned it into an actual functional bookshelf. But I kind of goofed a little bit. This piece right here was not quite wide enough. I try when I'm putting these together and I'm thinking about, I need 5 millimeters between these two for a bookshelf, or for the foam core. I didn't quite get it there. And again, a little function. You can really see that those are just little pinheads. And the top. And then this one, which is a Nandor Honti design, but I took it apart and designed some new pieces for it. He had some really interesting, an interesting way of folding in these parts, but it just was not functional for what I could not make it work in the way that it was intended to work. So what I did was I took out these rockers. This piece is with the arms is now just a single piece, and redesigned it so the rockers were just simply glued in, and then I weighted the front with a little cardboard. And you can see I had to weight the front because, believe it or not, the addition, I created a whole new piece that goes back here. There wasn't a piece that goes back here. I created a whole new piece back here, and this was simply too much weight, and it kept pulling the rocker back. So I just took some little pieces of scrap board and glued them into the front cavity. So now it's balanced. And this is one of my favorite designs. I've already made the corrections here, so you don't see that yucky stuff right there. But this is one of my absolute favorites. This one is kind of akin to the straight back chair. I don't think I made a single change with this one. No, I didn't. I made one change. I added some cardboard underneath here, and I made the strap, the little connecting bit in the middle, the overlap a little bigger. The rest of it, no. I also, in the final version, I pulled an illustration and put that here and put something else here. Because, come on, this is fancy furniture. This is just terribly fancy furniture. And then you can see this is the dressing table. The dressing table was the piece that I found the most interesting, and I completely tore it apart. Again, sorry for my cough. Pardon the fact that the mirror's not here. I have the mirror pattern here. I just need to make the mirror and put it in. But again, we have fully functioning drawers. All of the illustrations are mine. I keep saying that over and over again. And then because I like making sure the back is finished, I also did the back. And these problems have been fixed as well. So that when you finish it, it is completely covered. I don't like having, like, this part in here, I really did not like this, and I had to figure out how I was going to do this because I took it apart and designed it in 3. So you have 2 of these, you have the middle section, and then they're glued together. But this needs something else. The reason it is this color is because I use paint pens to come in, and I like this particular brand, Artistro. I would love it if they'd sponsor me. I'd love it if they'd send me some freebies. But, you know, I'm a one-horse operation, so it's perfectly okay. I can buy my own pens. But they have a fine tip, and they dry really quickly. So they cover more like paint, and I can kind of zhuzh them and move them around. However, I just didn't have the right color that went with this warmer redder tone, but I couldn't stand the white. So that's why I went in and did something about it. And then I designed, this one was a scratch build. This isn't terribly, you know, fantastical or anything. I just designed a little bench seat. However, I think in Nandor's universe, the way he designed it, this would be the chair. But I also did this, and that could be a table. I'm not a picky girl. I just love dollhouse furniture. And then I forgot to show you this one in the last video. This was again from this is the bonus bed. That 50s designer. I became enamored with this particular bed that's like a single piece that you can fold together. And I kind of want a little bazongas. I love the rainbows. I love rainbows. And I have a couple of different versions with the rainbows on the front, the rainbows on the bottom. And this is some of that really nice, I think it's really nice, like marbly, cheap paper from the dollar store. This is covered with, this is just a piece of the what do you call it? Foam core that I covered with some newsprint that I painted, because if you've been on my channel a while, you know I use a lot of painted paper. And that's just the little mattress. And then if you wanted, you could put, this is like just a little bolster. Put that together. Put there so you can see it. And this is a Marimekko design. I love Marimekko. And their fabric designs are absolutely gorgeous. If you don't know who Marimekko is, Marimekko. It is Finnish for Mary's dress. Marimekko. Marimekko. Because it's a double consonant. Sorry, lived in Finland for a while. So that's what I've got going and what I want to release. I've been working all this. I realized that I have been working on all of these pieces since November 6th of last year, when I climbed inside my studio, my little area, and I just started forcing myself to learn a couple of programs, platforms. I forced myself to use GIMP, and I forced myself to use Inkscape because I'm poor and I don't want Adobe anyway. And I did it because I needed to not think about gesturing at the world. So it's coming up on a year, and I feel like I haven't done anything, but I've actually made quite a lot. And I'm really hoping to get some pieces out through my website and through my Patreon. Because if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's in the links below. And I know times are hard. I have a couple of different, levels. One that's the one that is the just $1 a month, which could help me keep me in markers and copies. So thank you very much for following me on YouTube and spreading around, the fact that I do this stuff. That's very nice of you. It's very kind of you. And I'll see you in another video. Okay, bye.